Hey there. So, in today's video, I'm showing the process I went through in utilizing my big old bag of leftover heat transfer vinyl from various Cricut projects over the years. I just legit have all these different colors and different sizes of vinyl scraps that I would hate to throw away. I'm sure I'll need to use them for other intricate projects, or for in this case, the confetti shirt, as I like to call it, that I'm making. So as you'll see here are some of the materials that I use that don't necessarily have to be the same materials. For instance, you can use other cutting machines good for vinyl, or other irons that are small and good for intricate space jobs like this one. The material list will also be listed in the description box below. For this specific project, it was pretty unique to me, and I was making it for myself. So as you'll see, I made a few mistakes along the way, and it was easy to fix up because, like I said, it was specialized for me. So it's basically a bunch of words and phrases that me and my friends use when we're playing one of my favorite video games. So the list is going to sound kind of wild, just a heads up. But with that list, I got a good 20 words out of it, and the plan was to format and fit all these 20 words in a box on a t-shirt. So then once I had my list all done, I went into the Cricut design space. I made that box, and preferably I use the rectangle. And I wrote out all the words on the side and then began sticking them in, changing the format, the font, the font size, making them vertical, making them horizontal, just to get it all to fit. I found a box size of 8.5 by 12 inches good for what I wanted for my medium t-shirt. So of course, play around with that if you must, depending on the size of the shirt. I wanted it to cover like basically from my top of my chest to my belly button kind of thing. So I had a lot of fun playing around just with fonts and things like that, just to get it fitting in the box. I also have a Cricut membership, so I have access to a lot of fonts and other features in Cricut to really play around and make it all fun and appealing. What was most important though is back to my bag of crazy vinyl pieces. With each word and phrase here, as I color coded it, that color matches a piece of vinyl that I legit had sitting right next to me. So I needed to make sure when sizing it and formatting it in the Cricut design space, I also measured it with a ruler, my tape measure, on the side, and made sure that that piece of vinyl was enough for the word and phrase that I'm going to use it for. So and I apologize. When I recorded this whole process, it was before I had my screen video capture, so sorry that I had to record myself on my computer this way, but just so you guys can see it here, I'm measuring each final piece and making sure it's gonna line up with what I'm doing on the computer. Make sure there's no mistakes and backup if necessary. I changed the colors accordingly once I realized it didn't fit, and I wanted the colors to spread out, not be too close to each other, still have the fun colors I knew go together. So as I got closer to what I was happy with, like, okay, this is how it's gonna look, it's fine, I need to make sure everything was attached. If you are familiar with that Cricut feature, selecting all on everything in there to attach it, so the light colors were going to cut out at the same time, and it kept the format in terms of being vertical or horizontal. This is the best way I found to do that, is going through the attach and grouping feature and making sure those things were gonna be done together. So then before I press make too, that just minimizes any issues. But once I get into the make feature, I also, which I always stress doing, making sure I hit the mirror feature on each part of this project. Mind you, there's like, what, umpteen colors that you're going to be cutting if you were to do something like this. So going down each one and making sure I click mirror so there are no mistakes when it cuts out. And this wasn't even the tedious part. The tedious part after this is then after they cut out, going through and changing out the vinyl to print and cut out the next one. So it was like putting in 20 different colors in and out of the Cricut machine and off the cutting board, which I also had to make sure I tape down each side, because especially with these smaller pieces of vinyl, it's important it doesn't move. Don't want any shifts or anything. So tape down each piece, and that took the most time to just make sure that they were taped down and switching them out between each cut. But then after that, it was pretty easy. And of course, I then went and weeded out each word. I had a little help with that because that's tedious, but tedious in a fun way, using the weeding tools and taking out all the parts of the vinyl that I wasn't going to need. So then after everything is cut and weeded out, the tools, I'm then taking my shirt and I'm planning out where everything's going to go on the shirt. And I can't stress that enough. For any ironing heat transfer vinyl projects, laying them out on the surface first to see where everything goes before you use the iron on it. Because it's hard to come back from that once you start ironing it down. So I'm going to format it the way I see it on the computer screen, the way I first thought I would like it. And by doing this too, I also realized some mistakes. Like for instance, surrender at 20, the part of the S is missing. So I'm going to go back and cut the S at least back out so I don't have to do a whole thing of red, but I'm just going to fix the S. But making sure everything looks good, and this is how I want it. So now as I get into actually ironing them on with my handy dandy easy press iron, I have two layouts going on to make sure that I don't lose the format I want on the shirt. So I have these two black shirts side by side, but I am going piece by piece here and keeping on the protective cover on each piece. So important that you do this, especially when doing a project where the pieces you're putting on are in such close proximity of each other, to make sure that you don't melt a piece you've already done when it gets exposed. And you're going to see that I did that to this shirt and had to fix it and the only way I could think how to without having to start over, which was totally fine because like I said, it's for me. So I did it you'll see in a second. So important to replace the plastic cover protective peels, or you end up like this and totally just burning off the vinyl on a piece you already did. Hurt my heart so much, but got a little creative with that, and I used a extra word and phrase I had in mind and like cut it out on another piece, made it look like it was on a plaque, and just basically covered up that little boo-boo. So And here's the final product. I love how it came out. I love the colors. Perfect chaos on a shirt for a game that is full of chaos. I'm definitely going to be doing this again with other games or even movies with all my extra vinyls, so can't wait to do that. If you like the video, please leave a like or comment below. Let me know how you feel or if you even try something like this. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.